This is what your favorite race in the Elder Scrolls games says about you. Let's get started, shall we? Argonian. Remember Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter? Yeah, he was definitely your hero growing up. I guarantee it. Why else would you want to play as a 7-foot-tall mutant alligator? You say it's because of the fact that they can breathe underwater and they're immune to disease, but we all know that you're lying, okay? In reality, you're just somebody that got strangely turned on by the Lusty Argonian Madebook series, and you looked up a Rule 34 image of it when you were younger. Argonian players, they're a very strange bunch of gamers, but also very predictable ones. They always play a roguelike character, they despise using magic, and no matter what Elder Scrolls game it is, the Argonian player will always roleplay as this neutral bandit that doesn't want to get involved with the greater affairs of the world. Are they cowards? Maybe, but we love the Argonians anyway. Breton, you picked the safest, most efficient race in the game, and that tells us everything we need to know about you. You just went and Googled best, most balanced Elder Scrolls race, and you landed right here. Let's just be real, okay? You're probably the most boring Elder Scrolls gamer aside from the Imperial player. Don't worry, we'll get to him in a second. You don't roleplay, you just min-max your character to be as powerful as possible. And if you're not doing that, you're probably just installing some necromancer mod to make the game even more ridiculous with armies of undead at your beck and call, fueled by your seemingly endless supply of magic. Don't lie, we all know you done it. I've done it, you better believe it. Also, just gotta add in that people that play Breton absolutely hate Nord players. Skyrim, in their opinion, does not belong to the Nords. Can you believe that? That's absolutely ridiculous. Let's talk about the Dunmer, aka the Dark Elves. Every time this player makes a new character in an Elder Scrolls game, he's got two goals. Okay, the first is to be a Dark Elf, because they believe that the Dark Elves are the most superior race in this entire universe, okay? And the second is to be the biggest frickin' dick of an individual in whatever province the game is set. This is the guy, like, he's gonna murder innocent NPCs for fun. He levels up his speechcraft just so that he can cheat vendors out of their items. And anytime the Dark Elf player sees an Argonian, they can't help but sneer and devise this clever plot on how to assassinate them without being spotted by the local guard. I don't know what it is about Dark Elf players, but they got the biggest egos and the largest sense of superiority as gamers. And honestly, being completely legit here, that makes them probably the best role players in the Elder Scrolls games. At least I think so. Altmer, aka High Elves. Back in the day when you were in the chess club in school, you were bullied by some blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and Nordic-looking Swedish kid, and since then, you have carried a deep hatred for anything that reminds you of the North and Scandinavia. You hate winter, you hate mead, you think that Vikings are overrated, and you would happily give your life just to see Skyrim burn to the ground. Dark Elf players, they might have the biggest egos, right? But High Elves, they have the biggest grudges. I don't know what it is about these guys, but they are so sensitive and they can never forgive even the smallest slight to their egos. Even if an NPC just bumps into them by accident, the High Elf player just feels obligated to just blow them up with the biggest spell that they can currently cast in their arsenal. These are just really angry people, okay? Really angry people. And they have a really strong main character syndrome going on behind the scenes in real life. So if you ever encounter a High Elf player, just keep your distance. Let's talk about the Imperials. That's right, everybody, the Imperial player. You are vanilla, my friend. You are toast without butter. You are the Elder Scrolls equivalent of a McDouble at McDonald's. You picked the race of the Empire because you just want to blend in with the background and pretend you're playing as yourself. Your character name is probably something like Dave or Marcus. You like speechcraft, light armor. Sometimes you become a vampire, usually by accident. And really, that's going to be the only interesting thing about your character. Your role-playing is just you being you, but wearing shinier clothes and occasionally hiding the body of an old lady that you accidentally stabbed to death out in the woods when nobody was looking. But, you know, you're just role-playing as you. So Imperial players, you're just kind of boring. What can I say? Khajiit. Like the Argonian, there is no such thing as a Khajiit that is not a rogue character. They are either wielding daggers, they are stealth archers, or they just go and tear your face off with their bare claws. And they love it. You will never see a Khajiit casting a spell. You will never see a Khajiit player using a shield or doing anything other than breaking into homes to steal what they can. And you know what? Honestly, the Khajiit player, they're always best friends with an Argonian gamer, because the greater community sees both of these players as furries in real life. And maybe you're not actually a furry, okay? Maybe you're just somebody with this really bizarre sexual attraction to Snarf from He-Man, and that's okay. At least I think so. You guys can let me know down in the comment section about that one. And while you're down there, you know, why don't you take a moment to check out their description and get yourself some Coffee Mancer coffee. Our premium medium roast blend is available now. I'm actually about to do a huge website overhaul, so if something doesn't work, I apologize. But anyway, let's talk about Nords. When you were a kid, your dad sat you down and he made you watch the 2007 CGI Beowulf movie, and you absolutely loved it. You thought it was the most incredible piece of cinema ever filmed. And after that, your obsession with Northern European history only deepened as you learned more about Norse mythology, folklore, and all manner of outlandish stories that fueled the imagination of your ancestors. And where did it get you later in life? That's right in the heart of Skyrim, killing every single elf that stumbles upon your path. Doing the will of Talos, my friend. You have no tolerance for the knife-eared invader, and you remind them frequently with your fists and with your swords and shield that Skyrim is not open for any immigrants. That's right, unless they're Nords, in which case it's okay. Argonians, they're kind of cool as well, but they gotta stay like kind of over there. Anyway, Ulfric Stormcloak, he did nothing wrong. Talos, he should be worshipped as the one true god. Anyone that is a Daedra worshiper should be crucified on top of the spire of the Imperial city and left to rot. You know, it's the Nord life, man. Like, what can I say? Orcs. Yeah, you're an idiot. Your friend convinced you to play an Elder Scrolls game one day. You saw the orc and you just decided to play one. You have no idea what is going on in the story. You never finish quests once you start them. And of course, you made your character as butt-ass ugly as possible in the character creator. Because you just don't care, dude. You're just here to get a big axe and to cleave off some people's heads. And you learn that, like, your entire race emerged from the feces of some god. You just found that so hilarious that you went and slaughtered an entire village of innocent people, just laughing all the while. Magic? Dude, that's for weenies, bro. Shields? Those are for cowards, dude. However, there is this one strange breed of orc player that plays the exact opposite of everything that you would expect. So instead of being a bloodthirsty monster, they are the most calm, level-headed, and nice individual in the province. They even tend to wear really nice clothing, and they roleplay as a trader going from town to town selling goods. The orcs, it's like you got two extremes, either one or the other. Incredibly violent or boring and peaceful. Let's talk about Redguards. You picked Redguard for one of two reasons. Either to roleplay as a pirate, or to roleplay as Lawrence of Arabia. Redguards, they're some of the best warriors in the game, which is why you will never see somebody playing as a Redguard mage or a rogue type character. These guys are feral and they are kind of monstrous. They don't care about lore, kind of like the orcs. They don't care about helping anybody, and they're not going to do anything unless it involves needless violence. Redguard players, they also do not believe in fast travel in any Elder Scrolls game, because when you have the ability to regain your stamina at a rapid rate, why do you want to sit around on a stupid loading screen? It's always better just to run there, they always say. Honestly, I wouldn't cross a Redguard player in person, all right? They're probably boxers in real life. They're probably doing some sort of combat sport that allows them to beat the piss out of somebody. And just keep your distance, all right? There's actually a lot of people you should probably keep your distance from that play Elder Scrolls. Anyway, let's talk about the Wood Elves, aka Bosmer. The Wood Elf player was the weird kid in his class growing up, A lot of people think that wood elves are all about that hippie lifestyle, talking to butterflies, maybe smoking way too much. But that's where you're wrong, dude. Wood elf players are the people that play Elder Scrolls games like complete freaks. They never wear shoes. They always practice cannibalism. Yeah, I said it. They delight in becoming vampires just so that they can drink other people's blood, and they find the most clever and bizarre ways to assassinate people for the Dark Brotherhood. A Wood Elf player is never far from his bow, which he always uses to take out every child in Skyrim after installing the Killable Children mod. Anyway, people that play Wood Elves are most likely serial killers in real life, putting on an air of being some sort of bush hippie pagan to hide their true murderous intents. I dated a lady at one point in my life that played a Wood Elf in Skyrim. I wouldn't recommend it. So what do you think, guys? Are you the stoic Nord, the smug Altmer, or are you a Khajiit sneaking behind people right now? Let me know down in the comments section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, sub if you would like to see more content like this, and until next time, everybody, this one wishes you many stolen sweet rolls and 0 jail time.